Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever believed about love wasn't just wrong, but was engineered to mislead you. That you didn't stumble into your beliefs by accident, but were carefully guided into them from the moment you could walk. Not because you were foolish, but because society made damn sure you'd never question what love really is. You were told it's beautiful, selfless, sacred. But what if that's just the bait? You thought love was a blessing, a bond of souls, a divine mystery. But what if, underneath all that sentiment, it's a system, silent, calculated, and built long before you were born? Right now, you may be caught inside it, mistaking what feels like passion for something deeper, when in truth, you're being pulled by an ancient instinct, one that doesn't care about your happiness, one that only cares about your function. And the worst part? The moment you stop being useful to that instinct, it discards you without hesitation. No tears, no farewell speeches, just silence. One day you're her world, the next, you're invisible. You want to believe it's personal. You think it's betrayal, but it's not. It's just nature. It's biology, cruel, efficient, indifferent. Arthur Schopenhauer saw through it long ago. He wasn't blinded by romance or poetic delusions. He stared straight into the machinery of human desire and exposed the ugly truth. For him, female attraction wasn't about love. It was about selection. A woman doesn't love the way a man does. She chooses, filters, evaluates. She's not seeking the best man. She's seeking the most strategically beneficial man, the one who offers the greatest advantage right now. And the moment that advantage disappears, so do you. Modern evolutionary psychology calls this hypergamy, the drive to seek a partner of the highest possible value. But don't let the scientific label dull the impact. Hypergamy isn't rational, it's not moral, it's not emotional. It's a biological mechanism that works with the cold precision of fire-consuming wood. You can't moralize it, you can't negotiate with it. And here's the part most men refuse to see. She doesn't even have to be aware it's happening. She's not plotting, she's not evil. But her instinct will rewire her attraction the moment your perceived value drops. You'll think it was something you said or something you did wrong, but it wasn't. It was just the recalibration of desire. Meanwhile, you're still writing poetry in your head, believing this was destiny, misreading survival instincts as eternal love. But nature doesn't deal in poetry. It deals in outcomes. And here's where the pain really hits. The danger isn't just in being left. It's in not realizing you've already been left, even while she's still beside you. That's the most dangerous part. The emotional withdrawal starts before the physical departure. The laugh doesn't sound the same. The spark in her eyes dims. She's still there, but something is gone. She's already measuring your worth again, evaluating silently, testing you without even knowing she's doing it. Her instinct is probing. Are you still the man worth staying with? Most men don't see these tests for what they are. They respond with excuses, with justifications, or worse, by bending over backward to appease her. They think they're saving the relationship. But from her instinct's perspective, it's proof. You're no longer the man who once captivated her. And once that internal conclusion is reached, there is no coming back. Even Schopenhauer, centuries ago, understood what most men still can't face today. That love, as we've been taught to believe it, was never built to serve men. It was built to use men. This isn't bitterness, this is clarity. You don't win this game by playing harder. You win by changing the rules. But first, you have to see the game for what it is. And it begins with this brutal truth. Your value is always being measured, even when everything feels safe. Most men fall in love blindly. They hand over their loyalty, their time, their energy, believing they're signing up for a partnership. But they don't realize they're signing a contract, one with fine print they were never allowed to read. This unspoken contract has one core clause. You must keep proving your worth forever. You may think that once you win her love, you're safe. But in her subconscious mind, the clock is always ticking. You think love is a destination. She experiences it as a condition, a constant evaluation of, are you still ambitious? Do others still admire you? Are you still someone she can leverage for her own life strategy? This isn't cynicism, it's survival. Schopenhauer called it nature's trick, a deception of consciousness. We feel like we're pursuing love, but nature is just pushing the species forward. It doesn't care if you're heartbroken. It cares that the strongest genes replicate. And the woman, whether she's aware of it or not, is nature's gatekeeper. Her preferences shift with her needs. Her attraction recalibrates without mercy. She might say she wants a kind man, but her body is tuned to something else entirely: status, confidence, direction power. Not in a cartoonish way, but in a way that signals security and ascension. The moment you stop signaling those things, not even dramatically, just subtly, her desire begins to fade. She won't explain it. She might not even understand it. She'll just say, I feel like something's missing. We've grown apart. It's not you, it's me. But let's be honest, it is you. It's you not being who she thought you were, or not evolving into who she now needs you to be. You see, love for her is adaptive. It's not rooted in past feelings. It's rooted in present utility and future potential. And if you're not growing in those dimensions, she feels it in her bones. She doesn't need to think about it. Her instincts fire off the alarm. The most painful truth is this: you can still love her, still be loyal, still be trying, but if you stop becoming, she will stop desiring. This is why men often say, she left just when I needed her most. Of course she did, because that's when your value, on an unconscious biological level, was at its lowest. The irony is brutal. You thought love was about being vulnerable, but your lowest moments are when her respect retreats first. Jung called this the danger of projected expectations. We assume others think and feel the way we do, but we're not dealing with equals in love. We're dealing with opposites. Men often idealize love as eternal, as redemptive. Women, whether they admit it or not, are scanning for trajectory. Where are you going? What are you becoming? And if the answer is nowhere, her instincts begin the slow withdrawal. It's not her being cruel. It's her being obedient to the unconscious forces that shaped her mind across thousands of generations. This is the brutal mathematics of desire. If you're not adding something new to the equation, you become expendable. And yet, this is your chance, not to win her back, but to win yourself back. Because here's the truth Schopenhauer was pointing toward, and Jung later echoed: when you stop outsourcing your value to her approval, when you stop chasing love as salvation, you awaken. You start to see again, not just women, but yourself. Not just relationships, but the entire pattern. You stop bleeding your energy into something that was never designed to save you, and you start channeling it into the only force that can: your evolution. You were taught that love redeems everything, that no matter how lost you are, how broken, how defeated, if the right person loves you, you'll be whole again. This myth has been sold to you through books, movies, songs, and culture, and it's a beautiful lie because it feels so comforting, but it's also the most dangerous belief a man can hold. Because the truth is far more brutal. Love won't save you. In fact, depending on it to save you will destroy you. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. He wrote that love is nothing more than nature's illusion, a baited trap. It tricks the individual into sacrifice for the sake of the species. You think you're chasing happiness, but you're just playing your role in an ancient drama called reproduction. It's not romantic, it's biological. Now here's the dark twist. The more intelligent, emotional, and self-reflective a man is, the more likely he is to fall for this illusion. Why? Because you believe in meaning. You crave depth. You want connection that transcends the surface. And the woman? She might give you flashes of that. In the beginning, when you're new, when the bond feels sacred. But slowly, almost invisibly, her instincts take over, and the magic fades. You notice she's not as affectionate, not as present, not as captivated by you. You ask yourself what you did wrong. You search for reasons. You try harder. But trying harder doesn't make her love you more. It makes her respect you less. She didn't fall for your effort. She fell for your essence. And the moment that essence starts seeking validation, it loses its shine. You were the mountain. Now you're a man begging the mountain to love him back. That's when the shift happens. That's when she starts to pull away. Emotionally, sexually, energetically. Not because she's heartless, but because the unconscious contract has been broken. You stopped being the man she wanted to submit to and became the man who's trying to earn her approval. Schopenhauer would say, "You've moved from the realm of will into the realm of illusion." Jung would call it a collapse of the masculine principle. Your direction and autonomy have been replaced with dependency and need. And the worst part? Most men stay in this dynamic for years, trapped in the memory of who she used to be, addicted to the hope that she might come back. She won't, because the woman she was when she loved you only existed in response to the man you used to be. And unless that man returns, not by begging, not by proving, but by detaching, she'll never see you the same again. This is where most men either break or wake up. You can choose the red pill of responsibility. You can realize that love, at least in the way you were taught, is a mirage. It feels real, but only from a distance. The moment you chase it, it disappears. So what do? You stop chasing and start building. You don't look for her to complete you. You become the man so complete she either rises to meet you or drifts away. You stop measuring your worth by her affection. You start measuring it by how aligned you are with your mission. You stop pouring energy into winning her back, and you channel it into winning yourself back. Because in the end, she's not the point. Your evolution is. Love was never meant to save you. It was meant to test you. And if you fail that test by forgetting who you are, you lose more than her. You lose yourself. There comes a moment in every man's life when the illusion dies. The romantic dream shatters, and in its place, a far more sobering truth stands. Love is not what you thought it was. It's not unconditional. It's not eternal. It's not about who you are deep down. It's about what you offer, what you represent, and most brutally, how you make her feel in the moment. Schopenhauer warned us. Human nature isn't moral, it's instinctive. Men chase meaning. Women are wired to chase viability. Security, elevation, alignment with their own reproductive trajectory. And when your value in that equation drops, so does her attraction. Not out of cruelty, but out of biological honesty. Here's what most men miss. Love is performative. Not fake, but conditional. She responds to the man you show up as, not the man you are when you're tired, vulnerable, or lost. And while you may yearn for someone who accepts all of you, the truth is, she doesn't even accept herself unconditionally. She's at war with her own reflection, her own fears, her own aging. How can you expect her to offer what she doesn't possess? This is not to blame her. This is to awaken you. Because until you see love for what it really is, you'll keep bleeding for a fantasy. You'll keep trying to fix what was never broken. Just programmed differently than you. Jung would say this is the death of the anima projection. The moment you stop seeing her as the goddess and begin seeing her as a mirror, reflecting your illusions, your needs, your missing pieces. And it hurts, it's disorienting. It makes you want to crawl back into the lie. But don't, because what waits on the other side of this collapse isn't bitterness, it's clarity. You begin to see her differently, not as your salvation, but as your trigger for transformation. She revealed your wounds. She tested your resolve. She exposed your attachment to a narrative that was never real. And now, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads back to the chase, back to proving, pleasing, performing. trying to rekindle the flame with someone who no longer respects your fire. The other path leads forward, into solitude, into rebuilding, into becoming a man who no longer needs love to validate his worth. This is where your power returns, not because you stop loving, but because you stop needing love. You stop filtering your actions through her gaze. You stop compromising your edge to keep her comfortable. You stop trading your truth for temporary closeness. You become the man who walks with silence, who radiates purpose, who demands respect, not with words, but with the way he lives. And ironically, that's when women notice you again, not because you're chasing, but because you've become magnetic, not from need, but from alignment. But by then, it doesn't even matter, because your attention has shifted. Your vision is set on something higher, something no relationship can offer you: sovereignty, the ability to stand alone, to feel whole, to move through life unshaken by the chaos of others. This is the man Schopenhauer hinted at in his most brutal writings, not the bitter recluse, but the awakened sovereign, not the man who hates women, but the man who no longer worships them, the man who sees through the illusion and chooses truth over comfort. And that man, he's not lonely, he's free. You were never meant to stay asleep. Love, especially the painful kind, wasn't designed to keep you safe. It was designed to wake you up. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every slow withdrawal of affection was a message from life itself. Stop placing your soul in someone else's hands. Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat this. To him, love was a biological trick, a strategy of nature to enslave the mind, while the body fulfilled its reproductive duties. But Jung went further. He believed the pain we experience in love isn't just evolutionary or psychological, it's spiritual. It's a confrontation with the deepest parts of ourselves. The child who still wants to be chosen, the boy who still wants to be adored, the man who still wants to be enough for her. But here's the truth. Your life's purpose was never meant to orbit around a woman. It was meant to rise above her, not in arrogance, but in direction. Your soul came here to individuate, to evolve, to uncover its own unique path. And love was the crucible, the test that reveals your weaknesses, the fire that burns away your illusions. You thought the pain of losing her would break you, but it wasn't her. It was the false self you constructed around her. That self-dash, the pleasing self, the proven self, the I'll do anything so you don't leave me self, had to die. Because that self was never real. It was a mask you wore to secure a connection that was never guaranteed. And now that it's gone, you finally have the raw material to build something real. A man who doesn't need love to feel worthy. A man who sees love as a choice, not a salvation. A man who stays rooted in his truth, even when love walks away. This is the secret no one tells you. Love will always test your masculinity, not in how well you can hold her, but in how well you can hold yourself when she can't. So where do you go from here? You stop chasing. You stop idealizing. You stop waiting for the one who will finally get you. Instead, you turn inward. You confront the shadow, the hunger, the wounds, the patterns. You study the mind dash, how you attach, why you seek, what you fear. You walk the path of the sovereign, not because it's easy, but because it's the only one where your power returns. You build a life so full, so rich, so aligned with your mission that love becomes a bonus, not the foundation. And when it does arrive again, if it does, you meet it as a whole man, not a half man begging to be completed. You bring presence, not desperation, direction, not confusion, peace, not chaos, because you've seen what's behind the curtain. You've tasted the illusion and spit it out. You faced the pain and you didn't flinch. Now you walk forward, not bitter, not cold, but forged. Because when love no longer owns you, you become untouchable. And in that untouchability, You become everything you were always meant to be. Not a slave to romance, not a puppet of biology, but a free man.